Before Zeus ever ruled the sky, the heavens themselves went to war. A war so vast it shattered mountains and decided who would rule reality itself. It began long before, with the very first rulers of existence: Gaia, the living earth herself, and Uranus, the cold and distant sky who covered her. Together, they had many children, powerful titans, but also monstrous ones, one-eyed cyclopes and hundred-handed giants. Uranus feared them, disgusted by their strength, and so he did something monstrous of his own. He sealed his own monstrous children deep within Tartarus, a bottomless prison beneath the earth. Gaia felt every one of their cries from inside her own body, and her grief slowly turned to fury. So Gaia forged a weapon of gray flint, a curved and terrible sickle, and asked her remaining children, the Titans, for one of them to strike back against their own father. Only one was bold or ruthless enough to agree: Cronus. Cronus ambushed his father and overthrew him, seizing control of the cosmos for himself. The age of the Titans had begun, ruled from the dark fortress of Mount Othrys. But power built on betrayal rarely brings peace. Cronus married Rhea, a gentle Titaness, and together they had children of their own. Yet Cronus lived in constant terror of a prophecy. It was said that one of his own children would one day overthrow him, just as he had overthrown his own father. Determined never to let that happen, Cronus made a horrifying choice. Each time Rhea gave birth, Cronus swallowed the newborn whole, trapping them alive inside himself to make certain they could never rise against him. One by one, Rhea watched her children disappear. When Rhea became pregnant once more, she could not bear to lose another child. So she devised a desperate plan, hiding herself away to give birth in secret. Instead of handing her newborn son to Cronus, Rhea wrapped a large stone in swaddling cloth and gave him that to swallow instead. Fooled completely, Cronus never noticed the difference. The rescued baby was named Zeus, and he would grow up far from his father's reach, hidden in a quiet cave on the island of Crete, raised in secret and unaware of the destiny waiting for him. This is where our story truly begins, with Zeus, the protagonist whose fate was to end an age of fear and free his own family from his father's grip. As Zeus grew into a strong young man, he learned the truth of his birth, that he had brothers and sisters still trapped alive inside his own father, waiting to be freed. To help him, Zeus sought out Metis, a wise and clever Titaness known for her cunning mind. She would become his first great ally in the fight against Cronus. Metis prepared a secret potion, and Zeus found a way to slip it into Cronus's wine. It was designed to force his father to disgorge everything he had swallowed. The plan worked. Cronus was violently forced to bring back everyone he had swallowed. First the stone, then, one after another, Zeus's siblings, fully grown and alive. Among those freed were Hestia, Demeter, and Hera, and two brothers who would stand at Zeus's side for the rest of the coming war: Poseidon and Hades. Poseidon, restless and fierce, was eager to fight. Hades, quiet and solemn, had spent an eternity trapped in darkness and wanted nothing more than to see his father fall. Bonded by shared suffering, the freed siblings united behind Zeus. Together they declared war on Cronus and the Titans, who still ruled the cosmos from Mount Othrys. The stakes could not have been higher. If Zeus failed, Cronus's cruel, fear-driven rule would continue forever, and Zeus and his siblings would likely be destroyed or imprisoned themselves. So the young gods made their base atop a bright, untouched peak they called Mount Olympus. while Cronus and his fellow Titans held firm on the dark heights of Mount Othrys. For 10 long years, the war raged between them, neither side able to break the other. Mountains cracked, rivers boiled, and the world itself trembled under the endless fighting. It seemed the war would never end, until Zeus received unexpected counsel from an old and powerful voice. Gaia herself, the Earth Mother who had once helped Cronus rise to power. Gaia told Zeus of 2 groups of powerful beings still imprisoned in Tartarus, the same monstrous children Uranus had once cast away. If freed, they could turn the tide of the entire war. So Zeus journeyed alone into the darkest depths of the world, descending into Tartarus itself to find them. There he found the Cyclopes, giant, one-eyed blacksmiths who had been chained away for ages simply for being different. Zeus broke their chains himself, promising them freedom and friendship. Grateful beyond words, the Cyclopes returned to their forge and crafted extraordinary weapons for their liberators. A thunderbolt of pure stormfire for Zeus, a trident that could shake the sea and earth for Poseidon, and a helm that granted invisibility for Hades. With these divine gifts in hand, Zeus and his brothers suddenly possessed weapons unlike anything the Titans had ever faced. But Zeus wasn't finished. Deeper still in Tartarus, he freed the Hecatoncheires, colossal, 100-handed giants, each with 50 heads and 100 crushing arms, powerful enough to hurl mountains like stones. With the Cyclops' weapons and the terrifying strength of the Hecatoncheires now on his side, Zeus finally had what he needed to challenge his father directly. The balance of power had shifted. The war begins. With everything now in place, Zeus led his gods and giant allies down from Olympus to face Cronus and the Titans in one final, decisive battle. Poseidon slammed his trident into the earth, splitting the ground and sending violent tremors through the Titans' ranks. Meanwhile, Hades slipped through the chaos wearing his helm of invisibility, sabotaging the Titans' defenses from within where no one could see him coming. The Hecatoncheires unleashed their full might, hurling massive boulders like pebbles into the Titan lines, crushing their formations in seconds. And then, Zeus rose above the battlefield, thunderbolt blazing in his hand, striking down the Titans' strongest fighters with bolts of raw, searing lightning. Finally, amid the smoke and chaos, Zeus came face to face with the father who had once tried to erase him from existence. Cronus swung his ancient sickle with all his remaining strength, but Zeus was no longer the helpless infant his father had once feared. This time, Zeus struck first. One final, blinding bolt of lightning tore through the sky and struck true, and Cronus fell to his knees, his rule finally broken. One by one, the remaining Titans surrendered or were overwhelmed, and the long, brutal war finally came to an end. As punishment, Zeus cast Cronus and most of the defeated Titans down into Tartarus, the very same prison they had once used against others, guarded now by the loyal Hecatoncheires, so they could never escape. One Titan received a different fate. Atlas, who had fought fiercely for Cronus until the very end, was condemned by Zeus to hold up the sky itself for all eternity, as a permanent reminder of the Titans' defeat. With the Titans finally defeated, Zeus and his brothers divided the world between them by lot. Zeus took the sky, Poseidon claimed the sea, and Hades accepted the underworld as his silent domain. Zeus took his place as king of the gods, ruling from a radiant new palace atop Mount Olympus, alongside the very siblings he had once risked everything to save. And so the age of the Titans ended, and the age of the Olympian gods began. born not from peace, but from a son's courage to free his family and end his father's fear-driven reign.